Shri Ramachandra Bhagwan ki jai. Devotees, first and foremost, let me take this opportunity to say a very warm Kuchal Pranam, Sitaram to each and every one of you as we gather yet again into our beautiful mandir, the Shri Hari Narayan Mandir. This is definitely a home, our home away from home. This is where, my friends, where all of us can consider yourself as being blessed this morning to be into satsang. Fortunate are those who reaches out to receive the grace and blessings and the darshan of Bhagwan. It says it is easy for many of us to say to ourselves that we sit into satsang, but when that opportune moment has come for us to get up and receive and to perform the worship to Bhagwan, it is the greatest gift that God can ever give any one of us. So to all of you, commend yourself for being into mandir this morning. For those of you who are joining us at this time in the various platforms that is available, Facebook, YouTube, all of these various platforms, I also want to take this opportunity to say Kojal Pranam and Sitaram to you and your loved ones, to permit us to come into your home this morning and to religiously, week after week, so many of you by the thousands continues to watch this program and continue to give us beautiful comments as to, the worship that we perform and the pravachan that is also being narrated. So I want to say thank you for gracing us this opportunity that all of us can pray together as one family under the umbrella of Shri Sat Narayan Swami Bhagwan or Shri Vishnu Bhagwan. Devotees, today I must say how beautiful indeed it is that to have our Pandits then here, Pandit Mohanji and also Pandit Krishnaji, to be into satsang week after week and to continue to propagate Dharma into its truest form. And today, I want to commend these Brahmin Devatas for the great and wonderful job that they continue to do week after week and to serve our community to the most effective way that is possible. Devotees, also this morning, this program could not be a blessing without the divine grace and blessings of our Didiji, Babiji, Shrimati Maulinji, to grace us the opportunity this morning that we can sit for a beautiful puja this morning, devotees. And for those of you, my friends, our Didiji is Trinidadian, right? And my friends, and I noticed when we're doing the puja once in a while, she was looking at me, see, I got chutney style, right? So, but my friends, I must say, what a beautiful, beautiful way it is that today all of us can sit down together and perform the puja to Bhagwan. And devotees, it says that when we pray to God, Bhagwan Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, he says, how you pray to me, so I come to you. So when we pray to God and we pray with a smile within our hearts, devotees, then Bhagwan comes to you with a beautiful smile. And this is why, this morning, I wanted you to smile to perform puja to Bhagwan. And so, devotees, it means that when we smile, we're doing things lovingly. And this is the greatness of, Bhagwan Ka Puja. And devotees, this morning as well, it gives me great privilege to say happy birthday to our Pitaji at the mandir here, Shriman Uncle Premji. He is turned 84 years old. And I think we all deserve to give him a great round of applause. Unfortunately, he couldn't be here into mandir this morning. And we're asking him to shower his divine grace and blessings upon him. This birthday is coming from your loving wife, all of your children, and your grandchildren, and as well as your extended family here at Shri Hari Narayan Mandir. We want to wish you a happy, happy birthday, Dada. May Bhagwan's grace and blessings continue to give you good health and strength, and may you have many, many more birthdays to come. Also to our beloved son of this mandir here, Shriman Aniji, Babita's son is celebrating his birthday as well. And we want to say, Andy, happy, happy birthday to you. May you have many, many more birthdays to come. Again, from mom, dad, and all of your extended family, we want to say, May God continue to shower His divine blessings on each and upon you and Digi. And so this morning, devotees, today it is Purnima. Purnima means what? Full moon, right? And I always tell you that when the moon is full, it brings forth a lot of blessings in our life. And this is why in Sri Satya Sanatana Vedic Dharma devotees, it says that when it is Purnima, this is the time all of us know too well that we must perform what is called Sat Narayan Vrat Katha. Sat Narayan Vrat Katha. Sat means truthfulness. Narayan is Bhagwan. Vrat means to fast. Katha means to listen to the stories of. And this is why, devotees, during this time of Purnima, it is imperative on all of us, and I said this to you many, many times before, that all of us, we know the purpose of the sun. But what is the purpose of the moon? What purpose does the moon serve in this atmosphere? See, the moon, my friends, is responsible to control the tide in the ocean. The moon is also an integral part to this human mind. It controls the mind. This is why when you look at Bhagwan Shiva, you see on his forehead who sits there? Chandrama. Chandrama is the moon. It controls the mind. And I always tell you this is why in the old country of Trinidad and Guyana, devotees, it says that in full moon time, certain people, you don't see them in the village, they can have them here. You ever see, right? During full moon. And sometimes we don't see the man in the village like this, that was a full moon though. Right? You see, devotees, the moon causes devotees sometimes the mind to go confused. This is why, my friends, in Sri Satnarayan Vrat Katha, he says here that devotees, it says here, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Namaha Jai Jai Narayana 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 Jai Jai Narayana Shri Satnarayan Swami Bhagwan Ki Jai. Ekada Nishadani. Devotees, the very first canto of the Shri Satnarayan Swami Vrat Katha starts off with Ekada Nishadani. Ekada means one day. In this pilgrimage place that is called Naimisharan, he says 60,000 saints gather there. And as they sat there, devotees, it was a day like this. As they sat there, they saw a very young Brahmana whose name was Sri Sukji Maharaj. He came there, and devotees, it says that Sri Sukji Maharaj, as they put him to sit, it says that all these Mahatmas sitting there starting to question Sri Sukji. Just like all of you sitting in this beautiful mandir this morning, there are many, many questions that is within our minds. There are many problems that is happening in the world. There are so much things that we have to ask. But devotees, one of the main question is, O Honorable Brahmana, explain to me the chaos that is happening in this world. Explain to me, O Sri Sukji Maharaj, when one come into satsang, what and how must we behave? When we come into satsang, how should we sit? Devotees, when we come into satsang, what is the prerequisites that we're required to do? See, devotee, all of you go to satsang, right? But do you know what is the prerequisite of being in satsang? And here, devotees, it says that Sukji Maharaj, devotees, you will hear me this morning depicting from various scriptures, not only the Satnarayana Katha, but also devotees. One of the greatest epic of all times is devotees, the Bhagavad Gita. And here in chapter 8, verses 7, Bhagavan Krishna speaks of this as well. Not only Sri Sukji Maharaj, because Sukji is only relating what he heard from Bhagavan, Shri devotees Vishnu Bhagavan. And here it says here, Krishna Gopala Hare Deen Dayal Hare Krishna Devotees, I want all of you to repeat this word with me. Sarveshu Kaleshu.
Sarveshu Kaleshu.
Jai Bhagwan, all of you know Sanskrit very, very well. Panditji, what do you think there, huh? Sarveshu Kaleshu means devotees at all times. All the time. speaking, chapter 8, verses 7 of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. And Bhagavan was so profound when he says, devotees, Sarveshu Kaleshu, that my child, all of the time, not only one time. If God said one time, he'll tell you one time. But he said all the time. He says here that my child, all the time. He says, Anusmara means the devotees. Anusmara means to remember. All the time, one must remember who? God. You have asked yourself a question? Why is it easy somebody carry a pendant of Om, Bhagwan Ganapati, Saraswati Devi, Durga Devi, pendant with them all the time? Right? Today what I see a lot of people doing now, they put the Om right here. It was funny, I think it was last week, I saw, excuse my vocabulary here, but I saw a black guy with an Om right at the back and the middle of the neck here, right? And this, most time we see a tattoo, it's usually black. But because his skin color, he make it red. A red Om. He tattooed right behind his neck. And I said to my friend, the guy said, what's that you got in the back? He says, that's my Om. But how many of our Hindu brothers do we even wear a brooch with Ganapati? Or wear a pendant of a Om? You see, devotees? So here, Bhagavan Krishna is saying that for the time that you do not remember me, then what happened? Bhagavan is already with you. So the question here is, it says, always remember me. Sarveshu Kaleshu Asyamara, that you will remember me at all times. And when they come into Satsang, here now Bhagavan Krishna is saying, when you come into Satsang, he says here, my child, think of me. Now, when you go to the hospital, what do you think about? Anybody? When you go to the hospital, you think about sickness and sick people. When you go to work, what do you think about? You're not going to paycheck. Right? You see, devotees? When you're sitting in your car, what do you think about? And you're driving, you're thinking about the traffic. But why is it that when we go to Mandir, what do you think about? Finish. Right? See, devotees? So, this is why Bhagavan Krishna is reminding us in chapter 8, verses 7 of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. He says that when you come into satsang, think of me, your Lord, at all times. And this is why it says, devotees, it says here, it says, Mattarya Pita Mano Buddhi, the devotees, it says, think of me with your mind, Buddhi, and your intellect. Let your mind and your intellect devote that unto me. This is why many times when you go to satsang, devotee, not think about who, where, what. Don't think about who's doing what. Don't think about, well, you know what? He not come for 3 weeks, how come he come now? You see, devotees? Don't think about all of these things. Don't think about when you sit into the home of Bhagwan, I am better. Don't think, devotees, that when you come, because in the eyes of God, we're all His children. And children in a home, devotees, parents see them as all being equal. So similarly, devotees, in the home of God, do not have hatred, do not have jealousy, do not have pride. And this is why it says here in the Bhagavad Gita, devotees, and right here, devotees, many of us would have failed when it comes to going to satsang. Many of us would have failed. And Bhagwan, devotees, without hesitation, he says, many times when we sit into satsang, you in satsang, but your mind, your body is here, but this mind is now at the flea market. See, Ratiji, you're not thinking of flea market, at Targa. See, devotees? It says our mind is elsewhere, it's wandering. We keep on thinking, devotees, of our problems even when we sit in the satsang. Many of us devotees, when we sit into satsang, we're thinking about so many things. And, we think of our health. Many of us, we think about the financial situations and conditions that we're going through. And here, devotee, what Bhagwan says, he says, Mano Buddhi, let that intellect, let that mind be placed onto me. This is a place where you come to worship. You're sitting before the Lord. You want to worship Him and think of Him. And some of us devotees, even while there's satsang, devotees, you see this all the time. While there's satsang, one next satsang I go on to. In the satsang. If you get what I mean, right? Well, palit na preach or next set na preach say. Right? And here, my friends, all these things, this is why in Shriram Charitamanas of Goswami Tulsidas devotee, he assures us that that name of Shriram, that name of Shri Narayan Bhagwan, devotees, in this age of Kali Yuga, he says, Prabhu Shri Ram is speaking of this, so he says here, He says this name of Shriram, this name of God, this name of Durga Devi, this name of Krishna, this name of Shri Satnarayan Swami Bhagwan. Whatever devotees, Bhagwan is closest to your heart, and you hold on to that. He says that that name, he says here, the devotees, if it is used wisely, if this name, you use it in the proper format. And what is one of those proper format? That proper format this morning, DDG, comes to sit to offer what? Puja to Bhagwanji. This name, devotees, if it is used wisely, it gives you whatever, devotees, your desires are. The same thing. If you eat the appropriate food, my friends, you will live for a long time. If you, devotees, give your job, and work sincerely and honestly at your job, the empire will keep you for a long time. If you go to satsang and devotees, you use the name of God wisely, then devotees, it says here, Bhagwan Shri Ram is promising us that this name will remove all illusions, difficulties, and sicknesses in this world. This is why, devotees, when we come into satsang, remember what they asked Sri Sukji Maharaj? Why is it so much problem in the world? Why is there so much sickness? Why is there so much confusion? And here, devotees, in this chaupai, Prabhu Shri Ram now is saying, not only Satnarayan Swami Bhagwan, in the katha, the cantos of the Shri Satnarayan Vrat Katha, devotees, but also in all the scriptures of the world, it says that when we come into satsang, devotees, when we leave a satsang, you must leave with a soothing mind. You must leave with a smile in your face. You must leave. That is how you see the potency. That is how you receive the energy of the katha or the puja that is being performed. So when you're left and you're left angry and all of these things, devotees, then you weren't in satsang. Here, Bhagwan is telling us, he says that this will change the mind, and that, devotees, will bring positive energy within you. Devotees, how many really get angry? None of us wants to be angry. Has you ever noticed when you're angry? Sometimes I go about sa panijing, who face me, see this man. We have all West Indians saying, Gidiji, one thing that go right to say, who face me, see this man? It's a bad one. Who face to see this man? Who first face to see this man? You won't face. Yeah. And you won't face to see. So don't come tell me who face you see this man. You see, my friends, this is why it says that when you want to have positive energy, it means let your prayer equates to devotees your action. All of us pray. All of us do great when we come and we sit into satsang and we do our puja and our prayers and all of these things at your own home. But devotees, to create that positive energy, devotees. This is why when we come into satsang week after week, we sit into satsang. Why? To energize ourselves. Devotees, all of us, we need to survive. So what do? We eat food to survive. We bathe, we clean ourselves. We do all of these things in a religious basis. Many times we wake up in the morning, wash our faces, we go and shower, we get dressed to do, these are routines in life. But satsang must also be a routine. Satsang, when you come into mandir and be part of mandir, you see, devotees, you didn't eat only one day and then say for the next month we're going to eat back. Right? We got to eat some of us more than 3 times a day. Right? But Bhagwan is telling, he says, let satsang be part of your life, part of your values. And here it says that from the time, devotees, we come into satsang, and my friends, and you sit with a sattvic mind. Sattvic means a pure mind. You sit down in a pure mind into satsang, devotees. Watch for yourself and you judge this. Then we start to get positive energy. Great things happen in our lives. Here, my friends, he said that we become, by the time we sit in the satsang and we sit with negativities and we have negative comments to make, my friends, then what are you doing? You're building your bridge every day, my friends. By the time you sit like that, then what are you doing? You're creating this negative aura within you and around you that only negative things will happen. Be positive in your life. And here in the Vedas, we learn when Bhagwan acknowledges devotees, he says he acknowledges anyone with pure devotion. Pure devotion devotees. As soon as he hears your prayer, he recognizes the bhakti in each and every one of us. And this is why, my friends, he says, whether he is rich, he's poor, whether devotees, he is learned or he is illiterate, whether devotees, he is urban or rustic, he says, that God that you and I worship, devotees, he understands only one language. And you know what languages he understands? The languages of the heart and the mind. That's the only language God understands. Don't think because you're close grip, I can't pray. That happened to me last week. I just like to tell my mom, he can't pray because I'm close grip. Right? And he's only 7-year-old. So you mother said, really? Okay, hold on. So what he did, the mom called, he said, call Baba right now. Call Panaji. He said, here, tap it up. So we said, why are you going to tap it? He said, okay, here I tell you. Ask him if you prayed this morning. We said, son, did you pray this morning? He said, Baba, me close with God love it. Right? So we said, tell you what then. Take out your shot and go in front of Bhagwan and pray. And maybe when you don't pray, well, new shot go wait for you. Right? And he said, really? So we say, yeah. So we said, put your mommy on the phone. So we say, I'm going to pray. You can take out the shot, right? But before you come back, we'll show you a brand new shot. Right? And so devotees get shot. He went and prayed, and as soon as he done, the shot went right in front of the altar door. He said, oh my God, I got to call Baba back. Right? They called me back and he said, Baba, you know you're right. So we say, well, next time I make an excuse, right? See what good thing that's happened when we pray with devotion, right? And this is what devotees, Bhagwan is telling us that, you know, Bhagwan dwells in the heart of all of us. Let's not make excuse when it comes time to Bhagwan. And here, devotees, you know what he says here? Finally, it tells us here. Oh, Shri Ram Jai Ram. Jai Jai Rama, Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama. Ram Shri Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Jai Rama. Ram Shri Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Jai Rama. Bhagwan is telling us that here he says, Kama Krodha Mana Moha. He says that Bhagwan devotees, every question they ask Suji Maharaj, how do we know God sits within us? God sits within us, he says here, devotees, the Lord dwells in those who has no Kam, Krodh, Mad, Lobha, and Ahankar. Say these 5 words with me. Kam, Krodh, Mad, Lobha, Ahankar. You know what these things mean? God sits in the hearts of the individual who has, devotees, no haste or lust in them. He sits in the hearts of those devotees who has no pride. It is good to be proud of things. Be proud, devotees, of others' achievement, but not so much so your own. Understand this? I'm not telling you you shouldn't be proud of your achievement, but only you must be proud of it. Don't go tell nobody, you know what? Me at this, and the other thing. See devotees? Let others find out about your achievements. Here it says, arrogance. There's some people, buddy, you talk to them because they, they're a pandit, or, they're a judge, or they're a doctor. Devotees, they speak to you with lowness. We see this happen all the time. It says, devotees, Bhagavan sits in the hearts of those who has no anger in them. Be calm. Devotees, if you want to live long, be calm. Here I tell you. I will remember this when I tell you this. If you want to live long, be calm. Because when you see you start hype off every little thing, guess what happened to you? Your blood pressure starts to go up. Even doctors teaches you this. Try to calm yourself down. Right? You hear the DG? Calm yourself. Here. So, here you go, my friends. Calm yourself. Be calm. Be easygoing. And here, devotee, doesn't matter what happened, devotees, on a day-to-day basis. Do you know, my friends, and I'm not here to make anything here with you guys, but to tell you this. On a day-to-day basis, you know how much my day, it starts off good in the morning, and afternoon time, guess what he did? Skilta in the whole place, right? But you think me get time to go angry with yourself with anybody? Or snap at anybody for it? No. I just look up in the sky and say, Bhagavan, you know what? You're the one that's giving me all of this. And you know what? I'll take it. Because I know you're going to be the one that help me to overcome the difficulties, the problems that I'm going through. And devotees, in all of your busyness, I tell you the truth, in the past week and a half, ask me if I get more than 3 hours sleep was more than enough. Because of devotees, me going out to do community service work. Here, my friends, Bhagavan is telling us, dwell in the hearts of those who have no anger. And the Lord, devotees, as He dwells within your hearts, He says that devotees says, dwell in the heart of those who has no hatred in them. How many of us devotees? He says, when I tell you if you hate here, it's not what you're talking about. Dwell within our own society and community. Devotees, do not show any hate to no one. Always treat even your worst enemy like who? Devotees, when Hanumanji met Ravana, right, in Lanka, you know how he addressed him? He bowed his head and he said, "Oh, honorable Brahmana." Hanumanji, that you and I worship, when he met Ravan, Ravan was a Rakshas. But devotee, when he saw him, he bows to him and he says, "Oh, honorable Brahman." He didn't go to Ravan, it's up to him, to boss you up. He didn't tell him that. He didn't say, "Look, you are Rakshas and we're here to destroy you." That's what you call ego. But he went to him and bowed and says, "Oh, honorable Brahmana." And then he started his communication with him. You see, devotees? And here, Bhagwan speaks and he tells us that devotees, he says that that individual who gives charity, that individual who dedicates their time and effort in the truest form to satsang, to mandir, to church, go out to the extreme, to uplift society and to build dharma, he says that that individual devotees, Jinake pita dambu na himaya. So that person sees no illusions to anything in the world, because all that person is harvesting is how to uplift humanity. And here, my friends, this is why when Bhagwan tells us, he says, my child, he says that always live a life that is full of nothing but purity and success. And this is why it says here, devotees, in conclusion, from Shiram, he tells us, when we sit into satsang, think of me. And how do we think? It doesn't matter whether you sit on a chair, it doesn't matter whether you sit flat on the floor, it doesn't matter, devotees, whether you brace back, it doesn't matter what you do. It's just that your mind be focused onto the Lord. How many of our minds today has been focused onto my mind? We spent 3 hours in the satsang this morning, but how did we focus this life? And devotees, how many times have we thought of Him? And here it says here, Bajle Ram, Bajle Ram, Bajle Ram. Competition and praise, and our Lord Son Andy, and Lord happy birthday also to all of you in advance. Very simplistic, be apart, all of you. And if any of you are celebrating, whatever you're celebrating, if you did not let us know, I also want to say congratulations to you, and may that divine Lord bless you. Thank you. Devotees, I want to say thank you this morning to Abhinaviji and all the extended family who's come here to join us into performing puja this morning, and you're sponsoring this morning puja. I want to say thank you, Villiji. May God's grace and blessings be upon all of you to make the effort and time to be into satsang this morning. This is probably, devotees, one of the best things to do is that when we can sit for puja. That's why all of you are encouraged, and especially those of you who are watching us at this time as well. But every single Sunday, complete puja vidhi is being performed here in the mandir. And as I can see from the board outside, that it is filling up every Sunday morning very, very quickly. So please make sure that you go put your name, come, and we'll make preparations with you to come and sit for Sunday morning vidhi puja. Every single Sunday. Also, my friends, I know some of us may even want to go above and beyond that, and there are many, many purposes that is being done at the mandir here as well, especially for Navratri, Krishna Janmashtami, and all of these things. My friends, I will encourage you to please go and put your name and sit there so that we can perform all of these, the 9 nights of Navratri, that all of us can be part of the divine worship of Shri Durga Devi. As you know, upcoming on the 18th, it is going to be Mahashivratri. And next week, Pravachan devotees, we're going to prepare you for that auspicious time of Mahashivratri. So that all of us devotees, that we make preparations for everything in our lives, similarly we must make preparation for the great night of Bhagwan Shiva as well. All night long, the mandir will be open, and devotees, and 4 different pahars, devotees, Abhishekam is going to be done onto the lingam. And so beautiful indeed, devotees, that the next morning, it is going to be Sunday morning. So we'll still continue on with Sunday puja. And then Monday, I'm giving everybody the day off.
Family day.
Okay?
Family day.
How is that? Look how beautiful Pandit is, huh? So all of you will have the Monday off. So you get to recoup and revive. So devotees. So let us come out and let us make this Mahashivratri the best that it's ever going to be. So let us be part of it. Devotees, again, I want to say happy birthday to Uncle Prem, and also devotees this morning as well. Next week Sunday, Satsang, the Sanichar and the Sukhdev family invites each and every one of you to be in Satsang with them as they perform puja, and they will be the ones sponsoring next week Sunday. So all of you are invited. So let me take a quick look. So if anybody missing, then be prepared to make a phone call to Allah afterward why you didn't show up, right? So devotees, this morning I also want to say such welcoming that I could see my dear loving brother, Rajanji. I met him at the funeral last week, and I says, "Bye, you better come a mandir." And you know what? This morning, where he is at the mandir, he came here before me. He was there at the as well, right? He came before me to the mandir. So similarly with all of you devotees, how beautiful it is when all of us come together and we perform satsang in such a beautiful way. I know that the weather has not cooperated with us in the last little while, but all of you make the effort to be into satsang. So that being said, my friends, I'm going to ask you, let us all stand as we prepare ourselves for Aarti.
Monday.
Saturday.
Yeah.
Devotees, as a reminder, Saturday night, the Chautal here is going to be at the Mandir. Saturday evening at 7 p.m. So all of you as well, please come out. Yani tani shapapani janmantarkritani cha tani tani bhilashanti
I'm just testing it right now because it's like in a trial.
Children of the Bendu performing, all the children are learning commentary.
Darshini.
श्रियं परसरोजधावनि भक्ति सदा सत्संगस्य भजु रामचंद्र की जय शरणं प्रभु उमापति महादेव की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय श्री भजु रामचंद्र की जय शरणं प्रभु ओम द्यौ शांति अंतरिक्षं शांति पृथ्वी शांति आवा शांति वृषभ शांति वनस्पति शांति विश्वदेव शांति ब्रह्मा शांति सर्वं शांति शांतिरेव शांति सामा शांति Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Shall we all bow? Om Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Deva Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Tasmai Shri Gurave
प्रेम सलो सत्यनारायण स्वामी भगवान की
जय।
प्रेम सलो श्री रामचंद्र भगवान की
जय।
प्रेम सलो श्री विष्णु भगवान की
जय।
और प्रेम सलो श्री सत्य सनातन धर्म की
जय।
सब सज्जन की जय जय श्री राम. Devotees, I want to say thank you to each and every one of you for being part of Satsang this beautiful morning. I also once again want to say thank you to our Diliji, Srimati Malinji, and all of our extended family for being into Satsang. We welcome you from the bottom of our hearts, and we look forward to seeing you more often in our beautiful mandir. Also, devotees, as a reminder, as you know, there's flyers of Seva for Life is having their bhajan Mela is coming out, and that is Mela, and that is devotees going to be on March the 11th, 2023 at 5 p.m. at the Bharat Seva Sangha, which is devotees not far from here, and they're cordially inviting each and every one of you to be part of that beautiful Mela that they're having and hosting. So I will ask you to please, for those of you who wants to go to support them, please feel free to do so. As you know as well, the Radha Krishna Mandir of Cambridge is also devotees having a fundraising for the building and construction of a new mandir that they're doing. I have some tickets here for a bhajan night that they're hosting. So if any of you are interested, please come and see me as well for the Radha Krishna Mandir fundraising as well. So let us continue to propagate the tourist thing. So that being said, I also want to say thank you for being part of Satsang, and we'll see you next week. For those of you who are watching us into the comforts of your home, I also want to take this opportunity this morning to say thank you for permitting us to come into your home. And again, we look forward to being part of Satsang with you next week Sunday. Jai Shri Ram.